Kat Volzer knows a lot about bike safety for kids. As Director of Programming at White Oak Bicycle Co-op in Red Bank, she has taught dozens of bike safety programs for thousands of people in the Chattanooga area. Kat has self-published a book, just for kids, on how and where to ride their bikes safely, titled The Bicycle Adventure Field Guide for Kids, Chattanooga Area Edition. And she's launched a Kickstarter to help offset the publishing cost. White Oak will receive 10% of all book proceeds to help get more kids on bikes and to advocate for safe spaces to ride. Kat, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us more about your role at White Oak.
I am the Director of Programming, and I basically play bikes with kids all day long. I'm the bicycle safety educator. I do usually about 75 to 100 programs in a year. Most of those are what we call bicycle rodeos, really just a fancy, silly word for playing bikes with kids all day. There's no goats involved. There's no lassoing. There's no actual rodeo equipment.
Talk more about how your role fits into the overall mission of White Oak.
White Oak, we do a lot of things. We do a lot of things with very, very little resources. So one of the big things that we do, one of our programs, we take in used bikes, we fix them up, and then we give them away to the community. Last year, I think we donated 769 bicycles back to the community. Most of those, if they are children's bikes, I actually come with the bikes, and I teach kids how to ride, teach them how to fit a helmet on their head, give away helmets. I think we gave away like about 1,100 helmets or something last year. Some of that was with some partners and everything too. But basically, if we're going to give away this many bikes, this large volume of bikes, I want to make sure that people stay safe on them.
And this experience informs your self-published book, The Bicycle Adventure Field Guide for Kids, Chattanooga Area Edition.
Yeah. So I've been at White Oak since the fall of 2022. I've been doing this work since May of 2018, though. And since May of 2018, I think I've done something like over 600 programs with like 20,000 or more children. That 75 to 100 programs in a year adds up pretty quickly. So all of this is really just a culmination of everything that I teach already. I'm constantly getting asked, both formally, professionally, and personally, where do I ride with my kids in this area? How do I do this? How do I do that? So it's really just a little booklet that teaches you how and where to ride safely in the Chattanooga area. And it all fits really, really nicely into what White Oak does because, like I said, we do a lot. We do so much with very little resources. One of our big other hats that we wear is advocacy. That's something I've found in the past few years of this line of work is that I'm programming and activating these spaces and riding bikes with kids in places that no one else is in this area. I use old parking lots. I use what I can. That's kind of been an advocacy hat of mine for a while, is trying to get some places that we can ride bikes with kids safely because there's not that many options.
What are some things that you have learned as you have conducted these education programs, writing this book, and what you're hearing from parents, from children?
A lot of things. One of the surprising things, though, is really that one of the best places for kids to ride bikes is really what you have. So a flat, empty, open parking lot works really, really well. That's something we've been working with both the city of Red Bank and the city of Chattanooga with, is to get traffic gardens installed. One of the most amazing things that I did not expect is just the other day, the city of Red Bank has already cleaned and prepped and sealed the concrete for us to go paint a traffic garden. And there was not one, but two older, kind of retired age people already recreating in that space.
And when we say traffic garden, paint that picture for us.
A traffic garden is really just like a small streetscape for kids. There's really only two in Tennessee that I'm aware of. There's one in Gallatin, Tennessee, located at Miracle Park. And then there's a really fancy one called a Safety City in Knoxville. That one has like little buildings and everything. But after visiting the one in Gallatin, it's made out of an old baseball field. It's very obvious. Parents can sit and watch their kids ride in the dugouts and have some shade. But after seeing that one, which opened in June of 2021, and I'm from Hendersonville, so it's not far. But after that opened, I was there a few weeks after it opened and thought, why can't we have this here? I ride bikes in empty parking lots with kids all day long. What if we just cleaned it up and painted it and made it a little bit nicer.
And we do a lot of repurposing for other things here in the Chattanooga area, given the history of this city, the history of this area.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, our entire workshop over in Red Bank is repurposed. It's actually an old casket factory. So some of the paint on the floor is still there, if y'all remember when that was.
You have launched a Kickstarter since self-publishing the book.
Yeah, the Kickstarter is really for pre-sales of the book. So really how this works is White Oak, we do so much with so little, and we didn't really have enough resources to go ahead and get this printed and just to give away or even to sell. So I self-published it, I paid to print it, and I launched a Kickstarter just to kind of help recoup some of those costs. But still, I really want to give 10% of the proceeds of this back to White Oak. And really the point of that is to help get more kids on bikes, help advocate for these spaces for safe kids to ride.
What's something that's on the horizon at White Oak this spring, later this year?
Really, the installation of these traffic gardens is my biggest thing. We have one in Red Bank that's going in kind of in between the B&B discount and the fire station number 2. And then we have another one going in at the South Chat Community Center. That one is a little bit more red tape dealing with the city of Chattanooga. So that one's going to take a little bit longer, but the one in Red Bank is nearly ready to paint. We'll be doing that very soon. What's interesting to me is that space, even though it's not real large on the traffic garden side, they have a very large and flat, open, grassy area beside it in front of Dayton Boulevard. So I've talked to Sorba Chattanooga about this, which I'm a board member there too, and we've talked about installing a bicycle playground. And so that is just an off-road bike skills area for kids. Another hat that I wear is I'm a certified LCI instructor, which is League of American Bicyclists cycling instructor. That's the road safety part of it. But I'm also a PMBI mountain bike instructor. So I like to blend the two skills. And when you're a kid on a bike, they don't differentiate between road skills and mountain bike skills. They're just kids on bikes. So if you can blend those skills together, teach them a little bit of both, they're going to be just more resilient riders and more resilient human beings.
And for people who want to learn more about everything at White Oak, including the book and the Kickstarter and the traffic gardens, where can they go online?
whiteoakbicycle.org.
All right, Kat, thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.